Life is often described as a series of problems, challenges that seem insurmountable. But what if I told you that by embracing a single teaching, you could solve every problem you face? Yes, every problem. The key lies not in the external world, but in how you approach it internally. Life is full of challenges, and every person at some point faces difficulties that seem impossible to overcome. But what if the real issue is not the problem itself, but how we choose to perceive it? The way we view our challenges has a profound effect on how we handle them. Understanding the power of perspective can change how we approach everything, transforming difficulties into opportunities and turning setbacks into stepping stones toward success. Imagine two people standing at the base of a mountain. One sees an insurmountable obstacle, while the other sees a thrilling adventure. The mountain hasn't changed, only their perspectives differ. This is a powerful example of how our outlook shapes our reality. The first person feels overwhelmed, defeated before even taking a step, while the second feels excited, energized by the challenge. Both are looking at the same mountain, yet their experiences of it are completely different. This is the essence of perspective, how we choose to interpret the situations we face. Our perspective is often influenced by past experiences, emotions, and beliefs. If we have faced similar challenges before and failed, we may be more likely to view new obstacles with fear or doubt. Conversely, if we have succeeded in the past, we may approach new challenges with confidence. But perspective is not fixed. We have changed, adjusted, and refined, much like a camera lens. When we consciously decide to shift our perspective, we open ourselves to new possibilities and solutions that were previously hidden from view. One of the most important lessons we can learn is that problems are not inherently negative. In fact, many of the world's greatest innovations and successes have come as a direct result of facing and overcoming difficulties. Take the example of Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's perspective on failure was not one of defeat, but one of learning. He saw each failure as a step closer to success, an essential part of the process. His perspective allowed him to persist when others might have given up, ultimately leading to the invention of the light bulb. Similarly, our personal challenges, whether they are related to career, relationships, or personal growth, can be seen as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. When we shift our perspective from seeing problems as barriers to viewing them as opportunities, we begin to see the world differently. Problems become teachers. Offering lessons that once learned can lead to personal transformation. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can begin to ask, "What can I learn from this?" Changing our perspective is not always easy, especially when we are in the midst of difficult times. Emotions like fear, anger, and frustration can cloud our judgment, making it hard to see the bigger picture. In those moments, it's helpful to take a step back and gain some distance from the situation. Imagine looking at your life as if it were a movie, with you as both the director and the main character. From this vantage point, you can see how the plot is unfolding, recognize the challenges as part of the narrative, and understand that every great story involves overcoming adversity. This shift in perspective allows you to see beyond the immediate problem and recognize that it is just one chapter in a much larger story. Perspective also plays a crucial role in how we relate to others. When we are focused solely on our own viewpoint, it's easy to become stuck in a narrow mindset. But when we make an effort to see things from another person's perspective, we gain empathy and understanding. This doesn't mean we have to agree with them, but it does allow us to approach situations with more compassion and less judgment. Relationships, whether personal or professional, benefit greatly from this kind of open-mindedness. By broadening our perspective to include the views of others, we create space for collaboration, compromise, and deeper connections. In the workplace, for instance, leaders who understand the power of perspective are often more effective. They recognize that each team member brings a unique viewpoint to the table, and they actively seek out diverse perspectives to inform their decisions. This not only leads to more creative solutions, but also fosters a sense of inclusion and respect. By valuing different perspectives, leaders can inspire innovation and create a culture of openness and trust. The same principle applies to personal growth. When we remain fixed in our perspective, we limit our potential for growth. But when we challenge ourselves to see things differently, we open the door to new possibilities. This might involve stepping outside of our comfort zone, questioning long-held beliefs, or embracing uncertainty. Growth often requires us to let go of the need for control and certainty, allowing ourselves to explore new perspectives and approaches. It's in this space of openness and curiosity that true transformation occurs. One of the most powerful tools for shifting perspective is gratitude. When we focus on what we are grateful for, even in the midst of difficult times, our perspective naturally begins to shift. Instead of dwelling on what's going wrong, we start to notice what's going right. Gratitude helps us see the positive aspects of our situation, no matter how small. And this shift in focus can have a profound impact on our overall well-being. It's not about denying the challenges we face, but about recognizing that there is always something to be thankful for, even in the darkest moments. Mindfulness is another practice that can help us shift our perspective. By staying present in the moment, we can observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. Mindfulness allows us to step back and gain clarity, making it easier to see the situation from a more balanced perspective. Instead of reacting impulsively to problems, we can respond with greater calm and awareness. This shift in perspective not only reduces stress, but also helps us approach challenges with a clearer, more focused mind. In the end, perspective is a choice. We can choose to see problems as insurmountable obstacles, or we can choose to see them as opportunities for growth and learning. The beauty of perspective is that it is entirely within our control. While we may not be able to change the circumstances of our lives, we can always change how we perceive them. This shift in perspective can make all the difference in how we experience life's challenges, turning what once seemed impossible into something entirely manageable. By understanding and harnessing the power of perspective, we can transform our lives in ways we never thought possible. We can approach challenges with greater resilience, navigate relationships with more empathy, and cultivate a mindset that sees opportunities where others see obstacles. The power to change our perspective is the power to change our lives, and that power is always within our reach. Focus is one of the most valuable tools we possess. It is the ability to concentrate our attention and energy on a specific task, goal, or intention. In an age of constant distractions and competing demands for our attention, mastering the art of focus is more important than ever. Those who can hone their focus are better equipped to achieve their goals, manage their time effectively, and create a sense of fulfillment in their lives. Focus is not just about eliminating distractions. It's about intentionally directing your energy toward what truly matters. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Our phones constantly ping with notifications, social media beckons with endless scrolling, and work demands seem to multiply daily. It's easy to get pulled in 1,000 different directions, and as a result, our productivity suffers. Our goals feel out of reach, and we end up feeling overwhelmed. Learning to focus is about taking control of your attention and using it as a tool for progress. It requires discipline, awareness, and a clear understanding of your priorities. The first step to mastering focus is understanding its value. Focus is like a magnifying glass that concentrates your energy and attention on one point, making everything else fade into the background. Without focus, even the most motivated person can find themselves stuck in a cycle of business without real progress. But with focus, you can channel your efforts into the tasks and goals that truly move the needle in your life. It's about quality over quantity, doing fewer things, but doing them with excellence. At its core, focus is a mental skill. It's the ability to direct your mind toward a single point and resist the urge to become distracted by other things. However, focus is not just about willpower, it's about creating an environment and mindset that supports sustained attention. One of the most effective ways to do this is by setting clear goals. When you have a well-defined goal, it becomes much easier to focus your energy on achieving it. Vague or unclear objectives, on the other hand, can make it difficult to maintain focus because there's no clear direction to channel your attention. Setting specific, measurable goals allows you to focus with purpose. When you know exactly what you're working toward, it becomes easier to ignore distractions and stay on track. Break your goals down into smaller, actionable steps. This not only makes the process less overwhelming, but also gives you a sense of accomplishment as you complete each step. Each small success reinforces your focus and motivates you to keep going. Another essential aspect of mastering focus is eliminating distractions. We live in a world filled with distractions. Our phones, emails, social media, and even our thoughts can pull us away from what we're trying to accomplish. To truly focus, you must create an environment that minimizes these distractions. Start by identifying the biggest distractions in your life. Is it your phone? The internet? Noise in your surroundings? Once you know what tends to pull your attention away, you can take steps to reduce or eliminate those distractions. For example, if your phone is a constant source of distraction, consider turning off notifications during periods of deep work or placing your phone in another room. If you find yourself distracted by the internet, there are apps and tools that can block certain websites for a set period of time, allowing you to focus without the temptation of mindless browsing. Creating a workspace that promotes focus is equally important. This might mean decluttering your desk, reducing noise, or setting up a designated space where you can work without interruptions. In addition to eliminating external distractions, it's also important to manage internal distractions. The thoughts, worries, and anxieties that can pull us away from the task at hand. Often our minds drift because we are thinking about the future, replaying past events, or worrying about things outside of our control. To combat this, mindfulness practices can be incredibly helpful. Mindfulness is the practice of staying present and fully engaged in the moment. When you're mindful, you are aware of your thoughts and can gently guide your attention back to the task at hand when your mind starts to wander. Meditation is a powerful tool for improving focus because it trains your brain to stay in the present moment. Even just a few minutes of daily meditation can help improve your ability to concentrate over time. By learning to notice when your mind is wandering and bringing it back to your breath or a focal point, you strengthen your focus muscles. Over time, this practice spills over into other areas of your life, helping you stay focused on tasks, goals, and conversations with others. Time management is another key element of focus. When we don't manage our time effectively, it's easy to become scattered and lose sight of our priorities. A good way to manage time is through techniques like time blocking or the Pomodoro technique. Time blocking involves scheduling specific periods of time for focused work on a single task, while the Pomodoro technique breaks work into intervals, typically 25 minutes long, followed by short breaks. Both methods encourage sustained focus by creating structured time for deep work and minimizing multitasking. Multitasking is often seen as a productivity booster, but research has shown that it actually hinders focus and reduces the quality of work. When we try to do multiple things at once, our attention is split, and we end up less effective at each task. The brain is not designed to focus on more than one thing at a time. True focus means giving your full attention to one task before moving on to the next. By doing this, you increase your efficiency and the quality of your output. Prioritization is another crucial aspect of focus. Not everything on your to-do list is of equal importance. To master focus, you must learn to prioritize the tasks that matter most and let go of less important activities that can wait. A helpful tool for prioritization is the Eisenhower matrix, which categorizes tasks into 4 quadrants: urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and neither urgent nor important. By focusing on the tasks that are both important and urgent, you ensure that your energy is spent on activities that align with your long-term goals. Another aspect of focus is knowing when to take breaks. Sustained focus requires rest, and pushing yourself to work for long periods without a break can lead to burnout and decreased productivity. Short, regular breaks can actually improve focus by giving your brain time to recharge. The key is to take intentional breaks, step away from your work, stretch, take a walk, or engage in an activity that allows your mind to rest. These breaks help you return to your work with renewed energy and concentration. Self-discipline is the foundation of focus. Without discipline, it's easy to give in to distractions or procrastination. Self-discipline is the ability to stay committed to your goals and resist the temptation to veer off course. This doesn't mean being hard on yourself when you lose focus, but rather gently reminding yourself of your goals and bringing your attention back to what matters. Over time, discipline becomes a habit, making it easier to maintain focus even in the face of distractions. Cultivating inner peace through acceptance is a profound journey of personal transformation. Inner peace is not about external circumstances being perfect. It's about finding serenity and contentment within, regardless of the chaos around us. The key to this lies in acceptance of ourselves, our circumstances, and the reality of life as it is, rather than how we wish it to be. When we embrace acceptance, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of resistance, frustration, and suffering that comes from trying to control what we cannot change. Instead, we open ourselves to a deeper sense of peace and harmony with the world around us. At the heart of acceptance is the recognition that life is full of uncertainties, challenges, and situations beyond our control. We often expend tremendous energy trying to change these circumstances, only to find ourselves feeling more stressed and anxious. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive. It means recognizing what is within our control and what is not. By accepting that some things are simply out of our hands, we can focus our energy on what we can change: our thoughts, attitudes, and actions, rather than being consumed by frustration over the uncontrollable. Self-acceptance is one of the most significant steps toward cultivating inner peace. Many of us are our own harshest critics, constantly judging ourselves for not measuring up to certain standards or expectations. We compare ourselves to others and feel inadequate, or we dwell on past mistakes and wish we had done things differently. This internal struggle creates a sense of unease and turmoil within us. When we practice self-acceptance, we allow ourselves to be who we are, with all our imperfections and flaws, without judgment or criticism. We recognize that we are human, and it's okay to make mistakes or have limitations. This acceptance brings a sense of relief and calm because we are no longer fighting against ourselves. Self-acceptance also involves letting go of the need for perfection. Many of us strive for perfection in various areas of our lives, whether it's in our work, relationships, or personal goals. We set unrealistic expectations for ourselves, and when we inevitably fall short, we feel a sense of failure or inadequacy. This constant pursuit of perfection can lead to chronic stress and anxiety, as we are always chasing an unattainable ideal. By accepting that we are not perfect and that perfection is not necessary for happiness or fulfillment, we free ourselves from this burden. We can still strive to improve and grow, but we do so from a place of self-compassion and acceptance rather than self-criticism. Acceptance of others is another critical aspect of inner peace. In our interactions with others, we often encounter people whose behaviors, opinions, or values differ from our own. It's easy to become frustrated, angry, or judgmental when others don't meet our expectations or conform to our views. However, this only creates conflict and tension, both within ourselves and in our relationships. By practicing acceptance of others, we recognize that everyone is on their own journey with their own experiences, perspectives, and challenges. We don't have to agree with or condone everything others do, but we can choose to accept them as they are without trying to change them. This doesn't mean tolerating harmful behavior, but rather understanding that we cannot control how others think, feel, or act. When we let go of the need to change others, we create space for more harmonious and peaceful relationships. Acceptance also plays a vital role in how we deal with life's challenges and hardships. Life is full of ups and downs, and we all face difficulties at various points. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, a setback at work, or a health issue, challenges are inevitable. Often our first response is to resist or deny these difficulties. We may try to avoid the pain, distract ourselves, or fight against the reality of the situation. However, this resistance only prolongs our suffering. When we practice acceptance, we allow ourselves to feel the pain, grief, or disappointment without pushing it away. We acknowledge that these feelings are a natural part of life and that it's okay to experience them. Acceptance doesn't make the pain go away, but it helps us move through it with greater ease and grace. By accepting the reality of our circumstances, we open ourselves to the possibility of healing and growth. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for cultivating acceptance. Mindfulness is the practice of staying present in the moment, without judgment or attachment to how things should be. It encourages us to observe our thoughts, emotions, and sessions without getting caught up in them. When we practice mindfulness, we become more aware of the ways in which we resist reality and try to control our experiences. We may notice that we are holding on to certain expectations or that we are judging ourselves or others harshly. By bringing awareness to these patterns, we can begin to let go of our resistance and practice acceptance. Mindfulness also helps us accept the impermanence of life. Everything in life is constantly changing our thoughts, emotions, relationships, and circumstances. We often cling to the things we want to last forever, and we push away the things we don't want to experience. This clinging and aversion create a sense of dissatisfaction and restlessness. When we accept the impermanence of life, we learn to appreciate each moment as it is, without trying to hold on to it or change it. We find peace in the present moment, knowing that everything is in a state of flux, and that's okay. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation or apathy. It doesn't mean that we give up on our goals or stop trying to improve our lives. Instead, acceptance is about finding a balance between striving for growth and acknowledging the reality of the present moment. It's about recognizing that while we may not be able to control everything that happens to us, we can choose how we respond to it. By cultivating acceptance, we shift our focus from what we can't control to what we can, our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. This empowers us to take responsibility for our lives and create a sense of peace from within. In a world where so much is uncertain and unpredictable, acceptance offers a way to find stability and calm. It's a practice that takes time and patience, but the rewards are profound. When we embrace acceptance, we free ourselves from the constant struggle to control everything, and we allow ourselves to live more fully in the present moment. We create space for peace, joy, and contentment. Not because everything in our lives is perfect, but because we have learned to accept life as it is. Through acceptance, we discover that inner peace is not something we have to chase. It's something we can cultivate from within, no matter what is happening around us. Harnessing the power of belief is a transformative principle that has been echoed throughout history by spiritual leaders, philosophers, and motivational thinkers alike. Belief shapes our reality. It is the invisible force that drives our actions, informs our decisions, and ultimately determines the course of our lives. When we fully understand and tap into the power of belief, we unlock the potential to achieve things we once thought impossible. Whether it's personal success, overcoming obstacles, or manifesting a desired future, belief lies at the core of it all. At its most fundamental level, belief is a mental state of conviction. It is the acceptance of something as true, even without tangible evidence to support it. This concept can be both empowering and limiting, depending on what we believe. When we believe in ourselves, our abilities, and our potential, we set the stage for personal growth, success, and fulfillment. On the flip side, when we hold limiting beliefs, such as thinking we are not good enough or that certain dreams are unattainable, we sabotage our progress and create a life of restriction. One of the most powerful examples of belief in action is the placebo effect. In medicine, patients who believe they are receiving treatment, even when given an inert substance, often experience real improvements in their condition. This phenomenon shows that belief alone can trigger physiological and psychological changes in the body. It highlights the mind's profound influence over physical outcomes and demonstrates how what we believe can directly affect our reality. While the placebo effect is often discussed in the context of health, its implications extend far beyond the medical field. It serves as a metaphor for how our beliefs shape all areas of our lives. At the heart of harnessing belief is understanding that our thoughts are not just fleeting mental experiences, they are creative forces. Our beliefs shape our thoughts, and our thoughts, in turn, shape our actions and behaviors. If we constantly think negatively or doubt ourselves, we limit our actions and hesitate to pursue opportunities. But when we believe that we can achieve our goals, we take bold, decisive steps toward them. This is why belief is so crucial in personal development and success. Belief acts as the fuel that propels us forward, even in the face of challenges and setbacks. Belief also plays a significant role in how we perceive challenges. Life is filled with obstacles, both big and small, and the way we approach these challenges is directly influenced by our beliefs. Those who believe that challenges are opportunities for growth and learning tend to persevere and ultimately succeed. They view setbacks as temporary and use them as stepping stones toward their goals. On the other hand, those who believe that challenges are insurmountable or that failure defines them often give up at the first sign of difficulty. This difference in mindset illustrates how belief shapes not only our perception of the world, but also our ability to navigate it. A key aspect of harnessing the power of belief is recognizing and changing limiting beliefs. We all carry beliefs that hold us back, whether we are aware of them or not. These limiting beliefs are often formed during childhood or as a result of past experiences. They might manifest as thoughts like, "I'm not smart enough," "I don't deserve success," or "I'm too old to start something new." These beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies. If we believe we are not capable, we won't take the necessary actions to prove otherwise. Identifying and challenging these limiting beliefs is the first step in breaking free from them. By replacing them with empowering beliefs such as, "I am capable, I deserve success," or "It's never too late to pursue my dreams," we open ourselves up to new possibilities and opportunities. Visualization is a powerful tool for strengthening belief. By vividly imagining ourselves achieving our goals, we create a mental image of success that reinforces our belief in its possibility. Visualization helps to align our subconscious mind with our desires, making it easier to take the actions necessary to bring them to fruition. Athletes, performers, and successful individuals across all fields often use visualization to prepare for success. They imagine themselves crossing the finish line, delivering a perfect performance, or achieving their desired outcome. This practice not only boosts confidence, but also strengthens the belief that success is possible. When we repeatedly visualize success, we begin to believe it's within reach, and this belief shapes our actions and decisions in powerful ways. Affirmations are another technique for harnessing the power of belief. Affirmations are positive statements that reinforce empowering beliefs. By repeating affirmations regularly, we reprogram our subconscious mind and replace limiting beliefs with more constructive ones. For example, saying, "I am capable of achieving my goals," or "I attract success and abundance," can help shift our mindset from doubt to confidence. Over time, these affirmations become ingrained in our thinking, influencing our actions and leading to real change in our lives. The key to making affirmations effective is to truly believe in the words you are saying. It's not just about repeating a mantra, it's about embodying the belief behind it. Belief is also closely tied to resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity and keep moving forward, even when faced with difficulties. Those who have a strong belief in themselves and their abilities are more likely to remain resilient in the face of setbacks. They understand that failure is not the end, but merely a part of the journey towards success. Their belief keeps them focused on the bigger picture and prevents them from being discouraged by temporary setbacks. In contrast, those with weak beliefs are more likely to be derailed by obstacles. They may view failure as confirmation of their limitations, rather than as an opportunity to learn and grow. Harnessing the power of belief also involves faith in ourselves, faith in the process, and faith in something greater than ourselves. This doesn't necessarily mean religious faith, although for many people, spiritual belief can be a powerful source of strength and guidance. Rather, it's about trusting that things will work out, even when we can't see how. It's about having faith that our efforts will eventually bear fruit, even when the results aren't immediately visible. This kind of faith allows us to stay committed to our goals, even when the path is uncertain or difficult. The power of belief is not just about positive thinking or wishful dreaming. It's about aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions with our deepest desires. It's about cultivating a mindset that supports our goals rather than sabotages them. When we believe in our abilities and the possibility of success, we are more likely to take the actions necessary to achieve our goals. Our beliefs shape our reality, and by consciously choosing empowering beliefs, we create a life that aligns with our highest aspirations. Developing emotional resilience is an essential life skill that allows individuals to navigate challenges, setbacks, and adversities with strength and grace. Emotional resilience refers to the ability to bounce back from difficult situations, adapt to change, and maintain a sense of well-being despite the obstacles life presents. In a world that is constantly evolving and filled with uncertainties, emotional resilience becomes a critical asset for personal growth, mental health, and overall happiness. At its core, emotional resilience is about how we respond to stress, disappointment, and adversity. It's not about avoiding these situations altogether, as they are an inevitable part of life, but rather about how we cope with and recover from them. Resilient individuals possess an inner strength that allows them to face challenges head-on while maintaining a positive outlook and belief in their ability to overcome difficulties. This inner strength is not something we are born with. Rather, it is a quality that can be developed and nurtured over time through intentional practices and mindset shifts. One of the fundamental aspects of developing emotional resilience is cultivating self-awareness. Self-awareness involves understanding our emotions, recognizing our triggers, and being mindful of how we react to stress and adversity. It's about being honest with ourselves about what we are feeling in any given moment and allowing ourselves to experience those emotions without judgment. When we are self-aware, we can better understand the root cause of our emotions and respond to them in a healthy and constructive manner. This self-awareness is the foundation for emotional resilience because it helps us manage our emotional responses in a way that promotes growth rather than dwelling on negativity. Another key element of emotional resilience is developing a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that we can learn and grow from our experiences, even when those experiences are difficult or painful. It's the understanding that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone on the path to success. Resilient individuals embrace challenges as opportunities to learn and improve, rather than as insurmountable obstacles. When we adopt a growth mindset, we begin to see setbacks and failures as temporary and manageable, rather than as permanent and overwhelming. This perspective allows us to stay focused on our long-term goals and remain motivated to keep moving forward, even in the face of adversity. Emotional resilience also involves developing healthy coping strategies for managing stress. Stress is a natural part of life, but how we deal with it can either strengthen or weaken our resilience. Resilient individuals have a toolkit of coping mechanisms that they can rely on when faced with stressful situations. These coping strategies might include mindfulness practices such as meditation or deep breathing, engaging in physical activity to release tension, journaling to process emotions, or talking to a trusted friend or therapist for support. By having these coping mechanisms in place, we are better equipped to handle stress in a way that promotes emotional well-being, rather than letting it overwhelm us. One of the most powerful ways to build emotional resilience is by fostering a strong support system. Humans are inherently social beings, and having meaningful connections with others can provide us with the strength and encouragement we need to overcome challenges. Resilient individuals don't try to go it alone, they lean on their support network when times get tough. This might include family, friends, mentors, or colleagues who offer a listening ear, a different perspective, or practical advice. Having people we can trust and confide in helps us feel less isolated in our struggles and reminds us that we are not alone in facing life's difficulties. Along with social support, emotional resilience is strengthened by practicing self-compassion. Self-compassion involves treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, especially during times of struggle or failure. It's about recognizing that everyone makes mistakes and faces challenges, and that these experiences do not define our worth. Resilient individuals are gentle with themselves when things don't go as planned. Instead of being overly critical or harsh, they offer themselves the same kindness and encouragement they would offer a friend in a similar situation. This self-compassion allows us to recover from setbacks more quickly, as we are not bogged down by feelings of shame or inadequacy. Another important aspect of emotional resilience is learning to accept change as a natural part of life. Life is constantly changing, and no matter how much we try to plan or control our circumstances, things won't always go according to our expectations. Resilient individuals understand that change is inevitable, and that resisting it only creates more stress and frustration. Instead, they practice adaptability and flexibility, learning to go with the flow and adjust their plans when necessary. This adaptability is a hallmark of emotional resilience, as it allows individuals to remain grounded and focused even when life throws unexpected curveballs their way. One of the biggest challenges to emotional resilience is the fear of failure. Many people shy away from taking risks or pursuing their goals because they are afraid of failing. However, resilient individuals understand that failure is not something to be feared, but rather something to be embraced as a learning opportunity. They recognize that failure is an essential part of the growth process, and that every setback offers valuable lessons that can be applied to future endeavors. By reframing failure as a stepping stone to success, resilient individuals are able to take risks and pursue their goals with confidence. knowing that even if things don't go as planned, they have the strength and resilience to bounce back. Developing emotional resilience also requires practicing gratitude. Gratitude is the practice of focusing on the positive aspects of life, even in the face of adversity. When we make a habit of expressing gratitude for the things we have, the people in our lives, and the experiences we've gained, we shift our focus away from what is lacking or going wrong, and instead appreciate the abundance that surrounds us. Gratitude fosters a sense of contentment and well-being even in difficult times and helps us maintain a positive outlook. Resilient individuals regularly practice gratitude, which enhances their ability to stay optimistic and focused no matter what challenges they may face. Building emotional resilience involves cultivating a sense of purpose. When we have a clear sense of purpose or a greater meaning behind what we do, it gives us the motivation and determination to persevere through tough times. Resilient individuals are often driven by a deep sense of purpose. Whether it's related to their career, their relationships, or their personal goals, this purpose provides them with a sense of direction and gives them the strength to keep going, even when the road is difficult. By identifying and connecting with our purpose, we can develop the emotional resilience needed to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and determination. Living with purpose and intention is one of the most fulfilling ways to approach life. It means living in alignment with your values, passions, and the things that truly matter to you. When you live with purpose, you wake up each day with a sense of direction and meaning rather than just going through the motions of life without a clear goal. Intention, on the other hand, is about being deliberate in your actions and choices. It's about making conscious decisions that support your purpose and align with the life you want to create. Together, purpose and intention are powerful forces that can guide you toward a more meaningful and satisfying life. To live with purpose and intention, the first step is understanding what your purpose is. Your purpose is the overarching reason you exist, the driving force behind your actions, and the contribution you want to make to the world. For some people, purpose might be tied to their career, their family, or a cause they deeply care about. For others, it might be about personal growth, self-discovery, or spiritual fulfillment. Whatever your purpose is, it gives you a sense of direction and helps you stay focused on what truly matters. It's what gets you out of bed in the morning and motivates you to keep moving forward, even when the road gets tough. Discovering your purpose can be a journey in itself. It requires self-reflection and a deep understanding of your values, passions, and strengths. You might start by asking yourself some key questions. What are the things that light you up? What activities make you lose track of time? What do you care about so deeply that you're willing to put in the hard work to make a difference? What legacy do you want to leave behind? These questions can help you uncover the things that are most important to you and guide you toward your purpose. Once you have a clearer sense of your purpose, the next step is to align your actions with it. This is where living with intention comes into play. Living with intention means making deliberate choices that support your purpose and move you closer to your goals. It's about being mindful of how you spend your time, energy, and resources, and ensuring that your daily actions reflect the life you want to create. This might mean setting clear priorities, saying no to things that don't serve your purpose, and focusing on what truly matters to you. Intentional living requires a shift in mindset. It's about moving from a reactive way of living, where you're constantly responding to external demands and circumstances, to a proactive way of living, where you take control of your choices and actions. When you live with intention, you're not just letting life happen to you. You're actively shaping your life in a way that aligns with your purpose. This doesn't mean that you have to have everything figured out, or that you'll never encounter challenges or setbacks. But it does mean that you approach life with clarity and focus, knowing that each step you take is bringing you closer to your goals. A key aspect of living with purpose and intention is setting meaningful goals. These goals should be aligned with your purpose and reflect the things that are most important to you. When you set goals with intention, you're not just chasing success for the sake of success. You're working towards something that truly matters to you. Your goals become a roadmap for living with purpose, helping you stay focused on what's important and avoid getting distracted by things that don't contribute to your overall mission. Setting intentional goals also involves breaking them down into actionable steps. It's not enough to have a big lofty goal, you need to know how you're going to get there. By breaking your goals down into smaller, manageable tasks, you can create a clear plan for how to achieve them. Each small step you take brings you closer to your larger purpose, and this sense of progress can be incredibly motivating. In addition to setting goals, living with purpose and intention requires regular self-reflection. This means taking the time to evaluate your actions and decisions to ensure that they are aligned with your purpose. Self-reflection allows you to assess whether you're living in accordance with your values and whether your daily choices are supporting the life you want to create. It's a chance to course correct if needed and make adjustments to stay on track. Living with purpose and intention also means being open to growth and change. As you move through life, your purpose may evolve and your priorities may shift. What was important to you 5 years ago might not be as meaningful to you today, and that's okay. Part of living with purpose is being flexible and adaptable, allowing yourself to grow and change as you gain new experiences and insights. It's important to regularly reassess your purpose and goals to ensure that they're still aligned with who you are and what you want out of life. Another important aspect of intentional living is cultivating a sense of gratitude. When you live with purpose and intention, you become more aware of the things that truly matter to you, and this awareness naturally leads to a greater sense of gratitude. You begin to appreciate the small moments of joy, the relationships that support you, and the opportunities that align with your purpose. Gratitude helps you stay grounded and focused on the positive aspects of your life, even when things aren't going perfectly. Living with purpose and intention involves serving others. Purpose is often tied to something greater than ourselves. And when we live with purpose, we naturally seek ways to contribute to the well-being of others. This might involve giving back to your community, supporting a cause you believe in, or simply being kind and compassionate to those around you. Serving others not only enhances your sense of purpose, but it also brings a deeper sense of fulfillment and meaning to your life. Music,